Today's video is sponsored by Insta360. You wouldn't want to do this to your X106, not that there's a reason to do it to your Ace Pro 2, but you're probably not gonna be worried about water damage at least with the Ace Pro 2. It happens a bit too often when I bring a nice camera on a trip and I start to feel burdened by it. I know that sounds like a bit of a ridiculous statement to make because the whole point of owning a camera is to use it, but it really depends where you plan to take that camera. You wouldn't wear dress shoes to go hiking, and I'm sure everyone who has brought their camera to the beach before, for example, has felt a grain of concern about sand or salt water damaging their expensive gear. Point is, there will be times when you will feel a lot more comfortable that the camera you have with you is something like the Ace Pro 2. Now, there's a reason I mentioned Ace Pro 2 specifically and not action cameras in general, because when you use it in the Xplorer Grip Kit, I don't think it stays in the confines of the action camera category anymore. It's such a powerhouse that you can definitely use this as an everyday camera. By design, when you hold it up with the Xplorer Grip Kit, it very naturally encourages you to use it that way. When I first considered the Ace Pro 2 as an everyday camera, I was quite dismissive about it. Because partially it has a fixed lens, but when I thought about it, there has actually been a lot of fixed lens lifestyle cameras which have been really popular. Sony's recent RX1R3, Leica's Q3, Fuji X106, GFX100RF, the Fuji X-Half, and many of these cameras have a high-resolution sensor allowing you to crop in as a digital teleconverter, which happens to also be something the Ace Pro 2 can do. There is actually a bit more common ground than I expected here. I took both the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 and a mirrorless camera out to take some photos of Kuala Lumpur's city centre, and the results out of these two cameras were surprisingly comparable. See if you can tell which one of these is the Ace Pro 2 and which is a Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Did you guess correctly? The shots on the right were from the Ace Pro 2 and the ones on the left was a mirrorless camera. In my other video, which is more of an objective overview of the Ace Pro 2, I do talk quite at length about this cage. The TLDR is, it's incredibly well designed, looks great, and it feels incredibly premium. I can't express enough how much I love that the entire top plate, which is metal, is also the shutter button. So you can press down anywhere along this, and it also gives you the most satisfying click ever. It's also an entire protective cage around an already durable core, so you can hold this tank comfortably and securely, which allows you to be truly daring in terms of your shooting style without giving up any style points. See, when you're out and about with a camera like this, it feels like a bit of a liability. If, say, I was shooting right here and if I were to accidentally drop this into the lake beneath me, it's over. The camera would probably not survive it, but not with this though. With the Ace Pro 2, if say I were to accidentally drop this into the lake, I may have to fish it out and maybe rinse it off a bit, but I probably wouldn't break a sweat over it because I know for sure this is going to be absolutely fine. It's going to survive the drop, it's going to survive the water, and it's not going to ruin things for me. Because nothing ruins your day, or even worse, give you bad vibes on a trip like damaging your camera. In a sense, when you daily something like the Ace Pro 2, you won't be punished in the same way as a typical mirrorless camera if you've been a little careless with this. It even has a swappable lens guard, so if it does come down to it, it's something the user can quite easily replace. Over in the video department, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is also capable of capturing 8K up to 30p. That unlocks the incredible perk of being able to crop and reframe in post without losing any resolution. And if we compare 4K footage from the Ace Pro 2 to a mirrorless camera, it's got that amazing ability to preserve so much detail in both your shadows and your highlights, all while keeping colors nice and vivid, without sacrificing contrast too. Not to mention, the Ace Pro 2 having flow state stabilization is just a tremendous unfair advantage over any mirrorless camera. Just look how perfect that stabilization is. The Ace Pro 2 is also capable of taking raw photos, just like professional mirrorless cameras. This opens up a whole dimension of creative freedom in post when it comes to dialing in your very own look. Here are some photos before and after color grading taken with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 from my little field trip. This even has timecode capabilities, which again, isn't something you'd find even on some prosumer cameras, and it's quite full-featured as well in the sense that you can jam sync the Ace Pro 2 to a timecode generator over USB, or have it free run time of day, but you can also input a custom start time.
Here's a really cool feature on the Ace Pro 2 I'd like to show you. You've been out for the whole day, the sun's going down, and your phone's running low on battery, but you did not bring a portable power bank. But you do have your Ace Pro 2 with you. Here's what you do. You flip open the USB port on the Ace Pro 2, plug this in to your phone using a USB-C cable, and once you do that, there should be a prompt on the screen of your Ace Pro 2. And all you gotta do is tap on the option that says reverse charging mode, and the moment you do that, it should begin charging your phone. And what's neat is the batteries for the Ace Pro 2 are only this big, so you absolutely would not mind carrying a few extra one of these on you. And when you do, technically speaking, all these spare batteries aren't strictly for only your Ace Pro 2. They could in theory be extra juice for all your other devices because you have the ability to reverse charge from these.
The Ace Pro 2 will also let you set a cutoff percentage at which to stop reverse charging in case it's still like some charge left on your camera, so you don't miss capturing this epic sunset, for example. This was captured with one of the two Leica profiles in the Ace Pro 2. This is Leica Vivid, which is a bit more high key. The signature look is Leica Natural, which is that iconic low saturation, high contrast aesthetic. There's a lot more looks in addition to these two. One of my personal favorites is NC, which does a pretty good job of simulating that vintage film look. When it comes to low light video, the Ace Pro 2 does have a bit of an unfair advantage, and that's its pure video mode. This mode leverages dual AI processors to give you shots with minimal noise in low light. And it's not just about brightening the image. Look how well it also balances it. Not only is the footage clean in the shadows, but the highlights aren't blown out either. That being said, even if you don't film in pure video mode, the low light performance of the Ace Pro 2 is actually very respectable. A pro tip is to make sure your exposure preset is set to anti-flicker and not blur reduction, unless you've got a lot of action going on. What's nice about this grip kit is if you need to mount the camera in its smallest, lightest form, you can always rig it down or simply slide the camera out. If you ever mount this camera and you can't physically get it to stay level to horizon, there is a feature called Horizon Lock tucked away in your list of FOVs. And once selected, your image is going to stay level regardless of how the camera is rotated. Amidst the abundance of modes and settings available to the user, it can sometimes be a bit overwhelming to set a shot up if you're in a hurry. Use the presets to your advantage because every single one of these can be customized to a list of your settings, and each time you return to one of these presets, it reverts to the way you've set it up. If that list of presets is still too much to sift through, you can also short press the power button to pull up a quick switching menu, and in this menu, only the modes or presets you've enabled will be displayed. So this has been the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. If this seems like something you're interested in, I've got links in the description for you to check it out. Insta360's Black Friday sale is also now happening from November 13th to December 7th. The Ace Pro 2 is 16% off and the Xplorer bundle is 17% off. Check the link below to grab these deals and also get an additional gift. That's all for today, and I'll be seeing you around.